Welcome to the Art of Discrimination Self-Defense podcast audio series. Chapter 2, The First Step, What to Do Before You File an EEO Discrimination Complaint. I'm your host, Randy Williams. In this chapter, we will discuss the first steps after you learn or believe that you've been targeted or victimized by unlawful discrimination in your workplace. Examples include: you suspect that you are being treated differently and less favorably than your peers. Or, you were not selected for advancement or an award even though you were the best qualified or most deserving. Or, you feel subjected to harassment or unfair treatment in working conditions based on your race, color, religion, sex, disability, national origin, age, and/or reprisal for prior EEO-related activity. Our mission is to share impactful knowledge that in effect helps people overcome the oppression of unlawful discrimination, because unlawful discrimination must be stopped. Hello, I have worked in the field of civil rights for over 30 years, including managing the EEO discrimination complaint process at every level, from informal complaints, counseling, mediations, investigations, up to rendering final case decisions. And now I am a national civil rights consultant in both public and private sectors. Throughout those years, I saw an endless line of people, thousands, who just wanted to go to work and contribute to their organization, but instead they felt abused, bullied, cheated, and basically mugged in their workplace. Many people actually had legitimate claims. They believed they were telling the truth to the best of their knowledge, so they filed EEO complaints. Yet most, almost all, never succeeded in obtaining any redress or resolution. Instead, they lost time, money, and basically suffered in the EEO process for years, with nothing to show except possibly legal fees. This is because they did not know how to develop and present their cases. Check the U.S. courts and Equal Employment Opportunity Commission decisions for the percentage of times a favorable decision is rendered for EEO complainants. You will find that only about 2% of EEO cases nationwide succeed in the EEO process. The keys to EEO success are case development, gathering evidence, and case presentation, knowing how and when to show your evidence. Today, we will focus on case development. Case development starts with documentation of the unlawful discrimination that is happening to you. Documentation is critical if you plan to file an EEO complaint. There's a huge difference between what you say and what you can prove. Documentation is evidence or proof that what you're saying is true. When you encounter discrimination, take notes, list potential witnesses, write emails and letters. Start to establish a record that will be the foundation of your case. In instances where something discriminatory is only said verbally, like in a meeting, write a summary of that conversation, including date and time. Always communicate your EEO concerns to management and document that you did so and what was management's response. An EEO complaint is filed against an organization which management merely represents. It is not a claim against an individual, even though individuals can be named as discriminators. In some instances, like non-selections, you can make a Freedom of Information Act/Privacy Act request for data like demographics and other records which can also support your case. Just remember that paper rules, not word of mouth in the EEO process. You want to have a good head start in creating and compiling your documented evidence, because you can bet the organization has created and compiled documentation. I have seen many file complaints with nothing but their word of mouth on what happened. Those cases melt like ice on a hot day once the organization produces their documentation. One caution: if you work in the federal sector, You have 45 days from the latest discrimination incident or your awareness of that incident to file an EEO complaint. If you're in the private sector, you have 300 days from the latest discrimination incident or your awareness to file an EEO complaint. Don't miss your time frame for filing just because you're trying to gather evidence. Plan on continuing to gather evidence throughout the EEO process to make your case stronger and stronger as you proceed. A strong EEO complaint must show tangible harm to the complainant. The EEO complaint process is about make-whole relief for the complainant if the complainant prevails. Many times, people are offended by an action or decision by management, but unless they can show that they lost pay or money, including time like leave, of course medical expenses, the EEO process can't provide make-whole relief. Therefore, if you file over hurt feelings alone, your case will go nowhere. Cases based solely on personal feelings without any tangible harm are routinely dismissed in the formal, EOC, and court stages because there's no way to measure or remedy hurt feelings. An effective EEO complaint must include tangible harm. Remember, there are 3 parts to an EEO complaint: the basis, the reason, like race or sex, as I listed before; the issue, what happened, causing tangible harm; and your requested relief, how to make you whole from that tangible harm. Most important is that if you are encountering unlawful discrimination in your workplace, please take care of yourself. Don't internalize and blame yourself for what happened to you. Don't take it out on your families and friends, or don't shut down your job performance or work ethic because of that discrimination. I have seen many people who initially had a great EEO case, but later they were divorced, terminated from their job, and miserable purely because they let the unlawful discrimination affect their entire life. I have known complainants who have seriously considered suicide because of the pain of the discrimination and the frustration in the EEO process. Have faith. Don't blame yourself, and recognize that discrimination happens in the workplace. You have rights to fight back, but fight the smart way. That concludes Chapter 2. In Chapter 3, we will discuss informal filing of your EEO complaint, what to do and not do. Thanks for listening, and please share with others. Now, here's Angelia Williams, production manager for our show. She will explain to you how to support our efforts in fighting unlawful discrimination. Take care of yourself.
Hope you've enjoyed the show. If you'd like to support our efforts or have any questions, you're welcome to write to randy@randymwilliams.com. You may also write or send donations to Randy Williams, 805 South Glen Street, Suite 127-183, Fayetteville, Georgia 30214. Thank you.